What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Snowy Kurama, and we have yet another interview with one of our PDL top six guys, our first seed, actually, Jake, the coach of Mence. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty well, man. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. A little
Oh,
exhausted because I went on a run like right before this, but
oh,
yeah, it is what it is.
getting the sweat worked up for
Oh
the
yeah,
in preparation for the interview. Get the blood pumping.
right. Got to get all psyched up for this.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
very scary.
Okay, so let's start it off pretty light. What was your first Pokemon game?
It was actually Pokemon Gold.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah. Back on the old, I had it on the Game Boy Advance because that was the console that I had. But yeah, that was my first Pokemon game. I didn't actually finish it because I was pretty young at the time. But yeah, it was pretty fun.
Okay.
I picked the best starter, of course.
Which one's that?
I'm testing you to see which starter you think I picked.
I mean, in my opinion, the best one is Totodile.
Totodile is definitely top two,
Oh.
but I picked Bayleaf.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
I mean, I did when I had silver version, I did pick Chikorita. And then my
yeah,
friend showed me how to duplicate mons. So I went to the Elite Four with six Meganiums.
blessed,
I was like, let's
uh,
go!
blessed.
But yeah, I never finished that game either. I couldn't beat Koga, obviously.
Come on, everyone knows six Meganiums are the hard counter to poison types.
Oh yeah, sure,
Oh,
sure.
definitely.
How'd you
Uh,
first get involved in competitive?
um, I mean, I think a lot of people just like when they were in high school played like random battles with friends now and then, and I played that through Generation 4 and Generation 5 era. Um, so I did like a little bit of that, but in terms of serious competitive battling, in like 2017, I got involved in my university's Pokemon club. I actually was treasurer for this year, but I've since finished up in that role. And through there, I was like getting reintroduced into Pokemon. I didn't have a DS, so then the 3DS came. I got a 3DS and I played X and Y, and then Sun and Moon, and I got into competitive just through my club there, which was pretty fun.
Oh, nice. I actually didn't. I didn't know anything about competitive or showdown or anything until, as you say, university.
Mm-mm. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I just used like it for random battles with friends in high school. Like whatever website there was that was like open for video games before school blocked it.
Oh, gotcha. So it wasn't exactly like super duper
Definitely not.
for all the
Uh,
marbles. It was more so, hey, I have a Charizard. It's pretty cool, man.
yeah, man, it was just pretty cool.
Oh, okay,
What what
yeah,
what's a what is a Magnezone?
right.
You know?
Never seen that
Uh,
before.
yeah, because I didn't have a DS, so I didn't play Gen 4 and 5, so I skipped from Gen 3 to Gen 6.
Oh wow, that's a big
Um,
old jump.
yeah, I'm to some extent, yeah.
All right,
Uh,
well, so your first season with us was season three, but I'm sure you've done more before then. But
No,
just
no, that was actually my first ever draft league that I ever played in.
really,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
damn.
So I'd been playing a bit of singles, like I said, in 2017, around the middle area, and then it was around that time I was getting quite good to be pretty good friends with Adam and Mancha, and Adam's like, "Oh, hey, we've got a draft league," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." I was watching PokeMMD play through one along with a few other coaches. I was watching the P4G at the time,
Ah, gotcha.
so I was like, "Oh, that would be pretty fun." I say watching a few other coaches, but I was actually literally watching every coach that wasn't doing it in French. Uh,
Ah,
so I was trying to get quite a bit into the format when Adam invited me, so it was a lot of fun for a first season, especially given I did pretty okay.
all right then. Well, compared to then and compared to now, how do you look at draft? like from the
Yeah, I
start
think
until just recently in season 5 or whatever else you're doing? Because I know you do a lot of stuff at the same time.
yeah. I play a lot more draft league simultaneously now. I play it like every day of the week. It's a lot of fun.
Damn.
Um, I don't know. I feel like just draft is one of like the most fun ways I have of interacting with a lot of people through games. Like I always love playing games where you're playing with or against other people because I always like that element to it. So I'm playing in a lot of leagues where I have a lot of people that I know, and then you get to test how well you know your opponents and so on and so forth. Which I think back in the earlier day, I had a lot of more like friends who were helping me build as I learned to understand, and then I would just learn how I would know how to play from my singles background. But then now I think I'm a lot more autonomous in building, except for when I'm not. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm good,
Mhm.
except for I'm not.
So you're good when you don't draft Infernape. Okay, noted.
All right, all right. We don't need to talk about. This isn't my interview. We don't need to talk about me. We're here to talk about you.
Yeah.
I got my own words for myself. So, um,
Mm,
next question is, what has been your favorite Pokemon to use this season?
that's a hard question. I've liked a lot of the different members of my team. Obviously, Escavalier I had back in season 3, and I quite like that. But I don't think it's been a particularly standout Pokemon this season. Like the one time I tried to bring an interesting set, it didn't wind up working out, even though it put in work. Which was the Choice Scuff set against your team because you didn't have Hidden Power Fire on your Sylveon, so you never really put yourself in a position where I could work on that.
Yeah, I never did.
So Hydreigon or Cobalion probably. Hydreigon is generally one of my favorite Pokemon in draft format. I don't know why they decided to give it Dragon Dance and Nasty Plot because it got even more broken.
Right.
I always love. I mean, it's so weird because I always loved running defensive Hydreigon sets because it's got what 4 weaknesses, and just a crazy amount of resists, and then 2 immunities, and then you can just run like a defensive roost set with Taunt and just break through so many things.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I ran
but I've also yeah
defensive Hydreigon a lot in 6th gen, coupled with
yeah
Tentacruel and then like a banded Arcanine. That was my favorite little core there.
yeah. Oh, I love Tentacruel in draft format as well. It's a pretty fun Pokemon to use. You just meme someone with Sword Stance every now and then.
Right, I forgot I got that.
Yeah. Well, I remember using it back in, because I like playing some of the older generations. There's a lot of like Pokemon that you don't realize that have weird setup that they used back when one of their types was physical, even though they're a special attacker.
Oh yeah.
Like Sword Stance with Sludge Surf. Yeah, I think if I look at PDL, my Hydreigon usage, I'm pretty sure most of the time it's Metronome with Taunt and Roost, and then 2 attacks.
Oh, that's nice.
Then 2 Scarfs. Yeah. And then at Cobalion, I think I've also enjoyed using a lot this season. It's a fairly diverse Pokemon.
Yeah,
I
that
just
thing has so much it can do.
absolutely. I don't think I've actually brought a setup set yet, which is pretty funny. But I feel like to some extent it is a bit outclassed by Terrakion just by how good the dual stab is on Terrakion and how good its base attack is.
And it's pretty fast and it hits pretty hard too. So I mean, it's got that going for it. But Cobalion, you can volt switch around. You got them rocks too.
Absolutely.
That thing hits pretty nicely as well.
Yeah, I feel like I've run a Choice Scarf like twice now, just for the Volt Switch, and then just defensive so much. Though I feel like it's a bit harder to use in the PDL because of the item clause, so I have to weigh up a lot. It really forces me to play the league a bit differently, just because of how different I need to run like defensive sets.
Yeah, that's kind of why I like the item clause because it gives you.
Yeah.
It makes you plan a little bit more. Can't think of words ever. But you know what I'm saying. Like you have to be more creative. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I do like it's a different element that I don't get in other leagues that I play. But yeah, it's pretty fun.
And what about ever in draft? Like your entire draft
Oh,
league career, favorite mon?
it's really hard to say. There are a lot. So I don't know if you know this, but I know a few people would know this. But I went through like a specific thing to systematically eliminate every single tier one Pokemon in draft format using them last generation, which is a lot of Pokemon, and I tend to play 6 to 8 leagues simultaneously.
Hmm.
So I use a lot of Pokemon. I think at the current list, the only tier one Pokemon that I didn't manage to get to last generation are Charizard Y and Mega Pinsir, just because I'm not super big into Rock Week Megas. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely,
um,
especially since both of them are at one point or another. Excuse me, they're
four
actually both
times,
of them.
yeah,
Yeah, 4 times. I was thinking of X for some reason.
yeah. Well, obviously pre-evolution Mega Pinsir is only 2 times, but it's still yeah. But there's so many Pokemon that I've used, and then I just kind of like go through different periods of like, wow, I love this Pokemon, wow, I love this one. Like I had a massive Alomomola period where just every team would have a Alomomola, and I still
Nice.
think it's great. But then I just tried other Pokemon. I think the right now I've been on a bit of a Skarmory bent.
Skarm's
So
nice.
Scum's a lot of fun to use. It's another Pokemon that gets Sword Stance for no reason, except it also has weak armor, so that you get the defensive setup. Um, yeah, it's a pretty interesting Pokemon.
I played against a Skarmory. I think it was actually the first ever season of PDL. One of my other brother, besides Steven, was in the league at that time, and he had a Tailwind
Oh,
Skarmory set. I wasn't expecting that
nice.
at all.
Yeah, it's good. Got good team support. Good typing. I wish Corviknight had the support move set that Skarmory does.
Yeah,
Then again, I wish Skarmory got
Corviknight's
body press.
it's like it's Skarmory but different, I guess.
It's like Skarmory light. This is
Yeah,
defog and taunt, but not like whirlwind. No whirlwind, tailwind, yeah, so on and so forth.
yeah.
Spikes, rocks is the one I was thinking of. Yeah, I don't know. No toxic either.
Nothing gets toxic for right now.
Yeah,
It's
but the difference
ridiculous.
is Pokemon from old gens get when Pokemon Home gets released, at least they'll be able to get toxic from old gens.
Yeah, that's yeah. They get that at
Yeah,
least, but gotta wait till then.
yeah.
It's whatever.
Oh well.
How many different leagues have you been a part of? I'm sure that number is pretty damn high. And which one has been your favorite?
I don't know off the top of my head how many different leagues I've been a part of. I would say probably around 40 or 50.
Jesus
Um,
Christ, that's
a lot of
that's
them
a
just tend
lot.
to. Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are like,
I was
oh,
thinking like 10 or 12, but no. You're sitting over here like those
uh,
are baby numbers.
I mean, I've played in so many different things. I've played in just so many different contexts as well. I've run a few different leagues myself. Obviously, you were recently a part of my team, which did wind up petering out just because the new generation came out. But the
Yeah.
Region Unlocked League Extra with the Sinnoh format, where we did the Generation 4 based draft league, and then I've just done so many different formats of draft leagues. I've done because I've been involved in 2 separate university clubs. They've got like online drafts, but then they've also got speed drafts. I've done unaffiliated speed drafts as well, in person as well, which it's just been so much experience, like online, in person, just in every single thing, as well as the draft tournament format with the 8-mon draft, where I've played in 2 of those, and um, I'd say probably my favorite. I think this mostly comes down to just how much effort the commissioners and the mod team put into the league would be the World Pokemon Federation, which I've been a part of since season 1, and it's in season 4 now. I'm in the A division. I'm actually going to be uploading onto that season onto YouTube as well, and it's just been such a really good community to have build up and grow around. Just so much fun playing there, playing in all the off seasons, playing in speed drafts and all of the different facts that they just add into the season. It just makes it a lot of fun.
So what is speed draft? Is that like you have 5 seconds to pick something?
I think the standard is more a minute, but it definitely varies. Like I think the longest I've seen was 5 minutes. But you then have an hour to build, half an hour to play, or something. Or not an hour. Normally a lot
Oh,
less than
it's
that. But like,
like
yeah, you
okay,
you
so the
play them
draft
all.
is essentially like the day or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the entire
So
tournament
like,
part. Okay.
yeah. Um, I actually have a pretty decent record in speed drafts as well. Um, besides one of them where I had to drop out because I had a family emergency, I think I went 2-2, which given that the two that I won, I like won, and the other two I went made it into playoffs and did okay. It's not bad. Um, it's
Nice.
pretty fun.
I know the rule one we did was pretty fun. I had never played Gen 4 until then,
Yeah,
and
I,
that was a really
I,
nice experience.
I've been now and then just on like old gen kicks, and there was a Generation 4 tournament in a server that I was in where was in Gen 4 OU, but there was a poll as to whether it was going to be draft or OU, and then I had to make up the tier list, and I'm like, well, I got to use this tier list for something.
Here it is, even though it only lasted like 3 weeks or
I,
so.
was, I think it was four. I know I played 4 matches. It was a lot of fun though.
I think
Um,
I think I played Fabricio twice, or however you say his name, and then Keith once. So I
um,
might have played only three.
uh, I think towards the end, only really the people who were on the very high win records were playing.
Yeah,
Um,
because it was pretty much decided. Hey, you guys are like for sure in the playoffs at this point, so just
yeah, well, it
fight
was
and that's
just.
it.
I think it was just like, oh, these two people are undefeated, so I guess we'll just have them play to see who wins. And Keith won, which is really cool.
Yeah,
He's one of my IRL friends who
yeah.
I
It
met through the
seemed.
Pokemon Club.
I was thinking he was since you guys had that time zone, the same one.
Yeah. Definitely not the only other person in all of Australia, but uh, well, I guess we have three time zones. So, but yeah, so
Oh, that's interesting.
he's also in well, it's a big country. He's also in the WPF in the off season, and it was a coach auction format like we had with the off season for the PDL, except more coaches. So not everyone got picked, and the last pick, I managed to convince the guy to take him, and he's going to do really well. I'm really
Awesome.
excited for him. Yeah.
That's awesome. What has been your the favorite battle that you've done this season, and then on top of that, in PDL history, your favorite battle?
It's really hard to say in PDL history because I've played so many games over the years,
I'm
that
sure they all mesh
it's
together.
to some extent they do. This season, definitely, it was my match with the Toronto Star Raptors, coached by Mitch. Mitch has come along so far. It's crazy how different he is between PDL season 3, and then obviously he was a bit better in PDL season 4, and I think that was he came like second last instead of like massively last, so
Yeah,
that's
I
an
know. We were all
improvement.
just celebrating the fact that he
Um,
won something at that point.
yeah, I think he won like 3 matches as opposed to one the last season and none previously.
Yeah.
And then in the off season, he was doing pretty well,
Yeah,
and
he
then I wound up
was.
playing him. I wound up playing him as both of my matches in the finals,
Yeah.
uh, which was pretty funny. We just kind of accidentally wound up like that.
I thought
Um,
that you orchestrated all those changes on purpose, having each of us play the same person on the other team.
no, I didn't. I didn't realize that was going to happen. I mostly just wanted to play a different format. Um,
Because I guess it's just how it happened. I mean,
yeah.
I
I was
know,
surprised that happened.
I know Matt a bit better since IRL's friend. So I was thinking he
Yeah,
probably wasn't gonna switch anything up since he doesn't really give a shit.
yeah. I mean, I
So
thought he might switch things up because he wanted to play different formats, or his team members did, but he didn't wind up doing that. I mostly, yeah, I probably would have done it a bit more strategically if I'd done it intentionally,
yeah,
and tried to. make sure that you there's you kind of want to have someone as a feeder for the best player, and then for the rest of the team, just make sure that you have a better player than each of theirs. So like, then if you lose the match against their best player with your worst player, but then your best player beats their second best, and your second best beats their third best, and then your third best beats their worst, then I feel like that's a pretty value. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's a really really good way to look at it because I mean you're not winning all of them, but you don't need to.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you can just win all of them, then just do that.
Yeah, of course. I mean that helps.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of where my team is in the off season. With I think we've got a lot of really good players in that league. I'm actually the champion the previous off season, which was in the Ubers format, which was pretty fun. So I've got the in that server, I've got the fancy green division champion role. It's
Nice,
pretty good. Yeah,
nice. So do you have one for the entire history of PDL or no?
it's really hard to say because there are a few matches I remember, but all the ones I remember.
All the ones you
Yeah.
remember are what? You cut out for a little bit.
Sorry, I didn't like.
Oh, gotcha. You're like,
It's like, oh yeah, that's right. The finals of VDL season 3, where I had accidentally messed up my EVs, so I was one speed slower than Latios instead of one speed faster, and I lost because of that. Stuff like that.
Something like that happened to me
Latias.
too. I think it was like season 2 or something. I had a Haxor, so I had only 3 moves on it because I forgot to pick the 4th one. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And I just
No.
kept it because at that point we were like halfway through the battle. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
moves, let's do it.
I legit had 8 EVs free that I just had meant to put into speed, but didn't. So then
Damn.
my Cincino, it literally came down to the last 2 Pokemon was the Cincino against Latias. And he was a choice specs Latias, but then my Cincino was King's Rock, I think, because
Yeah,
why wouldn't you?
of course.
No, I think it was I actually think it was choice band at the time. And his Latias was on like 17%. And then I'm like, oh crap, I'm slower, and then I lost.
Damn.
So that's one of my least favorite battles.
It'd be like that. It really do.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It do be like that sometimes.
So, what are your thoughts going to the playoffs this time around?
Should be pretty fun. I really don't know what to expect in some ways.
That's been me this whole season, man. Like, you don't know what to expect out of anyone because people are performing much differently than
Yeah.
you expect.
I think some people performed on what I expected, but like some of the newer players performed around where I expected, but then some of the older players really outperformed themselves, and then some of the other players really underperformed. Obviously yourself and Steven, but I also think Mancha underperformed to how well he is. I think if he had perhaps been a bit more collaborative in building, and like had gotten help more, then I think he would have been better off.
I believe so too, because I was going through some of our old sheets, and season 1 he made the playoffs. I remember that much.
Because he's very good at playing, but I don't think he's particularly great at building.
Yeah.
But he's also a bit like a bit too proud to ask for help, I think.
Or maybe he doesn't care as much. Maybe.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a level of that. I think the combination of the two
Yeah.
don't help. I mean, if you don't care, then why would you say no to someone just building your teams for you? You know.
That's true.
So there's a level of care, and then there's a level of pride, I think. But yeah, I definitely think. I thought Violet performed better than I expected, given Violet did the same thing.
She just played the same mons over and over again. So you'd think that
Yeah,
eventually.
well, she did change the team that she brought when she made transactions, which I remember last season she didn't, and then she just brought a Pokemon that she traded to someone else, which was the Flygon.
Yeah.
Didn't do that this season though, which is a good improvement. Yeah. I don't know. I thought she did pretty well for what happened, but
I do too. Like she just kind of snuck up when it came to the in
Yeah.
playoffs
Gage
too.
did Gage did better than I expected.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wasn't really sure how his team would play out,
Well, I
but
guess
I thought,
also from the previous season, he kind of quit out. But
yeah,
before
well,
you came around, he was two-time champion.
he was three-time champion when I was around, but I don't know. Last season, he didn't put a lot of effort in, and then he every single match he played. Um, and then I'm honestly not sure what changed between this season and last season because he did obviously he came third. He was going to be second if I played him three times in the season.
This
I played
season you
him.
did?
Yeah, I played him on season, and then I played him in the random week, and then I played him again in week 10 because he was in second place.
I thought I played you in
I
the random
think.
week.
Oh, am I getting? Oh, right. No, I played. That's right. I played you and Gage both twice. But so then, if you look at that, that means Gage beat basically everyone he played but me. Um, I'm pretty sure he lost to Adam,
Yeah, he did.
and he lost to Will, I believe. Which
He
is,
might have. I don't remember.
I think that
know.
was
I
who he
think
lost to.
his record going into the playoffs is like 6-4.
Yeah, it's 6-4. So that was me twice. Um, Let
So
me
it might have been
pull it
Will.
up.
Yeah. I
I
don't have
think
the
I
sheet. I
think
don't have the sheet up. I meant to, but
I'm looking at
I
the sheet right
didn't.
now. No,
Sweet.
never mind. Apparently, he lost to Adam twice.
Oh. Oh yeah. We no.
Yeah, in his random week and week 2.
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah.
Me and
Okay.
Adam
So
talked about that already.
yeah, he only lost to 2 players the entire season, which is a lot better than last season where he lost to Steven, in week 2. He lost to me in week 1, and I did it without using my OU Pokemon just to flex because I wanted to. And I think he lost to another player, and then he just dropped out.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the big difference is between now and then, but yeah.
Maybe he thought his mods were better than they actually were.
No, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I mean, Kyron Black and Meg Gyarados, those are 2 very good mons. I Meg Gyarados is easily, I think, my favorite Mega Evolution to use in draft. Now, I don't tend to like leagues where they make you draft the Mega Evolution. I think that made some sense in Gen 6, no sense in Gen 7, and even less in Gen 8.
That makes no sense in Gen 8.
Yeah. Like even when you're doing like the national thing, it makes no sense. Well, what I don't understand the whole like fetishization of megas. Megas are so special and important. They can only, you have to have only one, and you have to have one, and it's just I don't know. Never been a big fan of that whole mentality and that running of a league sort of thing. It just seems like a dumb rule. The same as like first time mega in this league is something that I am not particularly a fan of. But yeah, I felt like I had context there, and then I forgot what the context was.
Something about Gage and Pokemon.
Oh no, Gyarados. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I really like Mega Gyarados. I find it to be very diverse. It's very good at attacking on the physical or special side, and it's got incredible special bulk, and it's got really good physical bulk as well. So you can run a lot of defensive and utility sets
That
that are
thing's
pretty
very
nice.
bulky.
Yeah, absolutely. The special defense stat is obnoxious.
Who poses
yeah.
the biggest threat to your success here in the playoffs?
Well, I have defeated every single person in playoffs already, so probably me. If I choke, if I like make dumb plays because I didn't calc like I did with against Destiny, then that would be a pretty easy route for me to lose.
My biggest enemy is me.
Yeah, I mean, I did kind of beat everyone, as like basically everyone. So.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't know what to expect with this question, but I thought maybe you might have been scared of somebody's team or way of battling or something.
Well, any fears that I had, I think would have been assuaged. Just kind of like dealt with when I beat them in regular season. I don't know.
That's true.
I think Adam and Will are very good players. And I can definitely see both of them, Like, I was really surprised. I did not know what to expect going into week 10 when Adam and Will were having a rematch, because that previous battle between Adam and Will was so good, and it was just such a well balanced match. And then it was completely just the same thing again, but in the opposite order with the rematch. So I'm very excited to see how what I imagine to be the semis battle there
Yeah,
plays out.
these battles have just been the best I've seen. It's
I don't
really
know.
nice.
I feel like this league has this season has had some really good battles, but it's also had some just kind of awful ones.
Yeah, yeah, but I
Um,
mean,
where just
that's
like
how it's
one.
been for this league. That's how it
Yeah, I don't
usually
know.
is.
I felt like last season. I feel like it feels like more polarized this season than in previous seasons, where like the best battles are suck, and then the worst battles are just um I don't know. Maybe that might just be big, the recency bias
Yeah,
sort of
maybe.
thing, where you just like something is recent, it must be better.
Yeah, yeah, I see that.
Mm.
So I'm not sure exactly what to expect with this question either, considering your answer to the last one. But I'll ask it anyway. The people in the semis that are going to face you next will either be Gage or Violet. How do you think that's going to go?
I imagine that Gage will win 2-0, two games to 0, because Violet's not going to build a new team.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah,
It's not very likely for her to do that unless she's saying, "Okay, now I'm in the playoffs. Let's mix things up." But
mm.
that's unlikely.
she
I
didn't
think.
she didn't do that in season 3, and then she didn't make playoffs last season. So yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't expect. I'm unfortunately not expecting too much.
Yeah,
I think Violet made a lot of trades to her disadvantage.
I think it was kind of just trading just because just to
Just
do
someone
it.
else asked.
Yeah,
I think it's someone else asked, and Violet's like, oh yeah, sure. Um, like I think Will made out like a bandit.
yeah. That dude was just trading with
From those trades.
everybody.
Not me though. That's really
You
mean.
didn't want your
I, I
team.
asked I asked two people to trade, and both of them said no. And one was Will, and one was you.
Hey, you were trying to get my Excadrill. It was like the only thing I ever wanted on my team.
But it's the only Gen 5 mod.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, we didn't actually talk about that. So
Oh yeah,
is it a mono Gen 5 draft?
your theme. Yeah, we didn't.
I was like, that's right, we haven't talked. So I actually have with that, this was the only mono generational I hadn't done for generation during Gen 7. So I had done a mono generation 1 draft, a mono generation 2, mono generation 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then this was 6 and 7, sorry. This was the only draft I hadn't done yet. So I mean, I feel like this kind of format is kind of where you have to do a mono gen 5 draft, where you have like just like the 3 OU Pokemon and so on and so forth. Because obviously I started out the season with triple Genie and triple Sword of Justice.
Yeah.
I did wind up making transactions to them. I decided very early on that Verizon Mobile just did not give me enough coverage. I needed to make those international calls, and then I wound up dropping Mandibuzz as well. But I mean, I didn't think Verizon was bad, or Thunderous was bad, or Mandibuzz was bad. I just couldn't see myself bringing them to matchups.
Yeah, they
A lot of
weren't
times
working out the way you were thinking maybe they
it's
would.
not even that they weren't working out. I brought Verizon once and Thunderous twice. Thunderous, I'm pretty sure, hit the field once and it got a kill. And the other time, I just never brought it out, and I never brought Verizon out either. When I had it, and I'm just like, well, if my other Pokemon are going to do their job better, then I don't really feel like I need it. And then with Mandibuzz, I just felt like most of the matches, it just was too passive, and I didn't have enough Pokemon that could exploit its support because it's weak to the same type as a lot of my other Pokemon, being Ice and Fairy.
Yeah, I noticed you had a lot of ice weaknesses.
I think that's just
that's
Gen 5
too.
in general.
Yeah, with those genies and
Yeah, not just the genies, but the dragons, and then you've got Whimsicott's the only fairy type the generation.
yep.
Um, yeah, I felt like that's just a Gen 5 sort of thing. Plus a lot more like grass types in Gen 5 as well.
The Gen 5 mods are pretty awesome though. They have great
Some
designs in
of
my
them,
opinion.
so some of them do, but when you get to 156 Pokemon, or is it 158, something ridiculous, some of them wind up not being up to snuff. Definitely didn't pick that one up in my last transaction. The Pokemon which I am referring to, I definitely did not just pick it up.
Oh,
Um,
good old
ice
ice
cream.
cream cone, yeah. I mean, you got those, but then you also have Darmanitan, who looks pretty cool. You got
Yeah,
Haxorus as
yeah.
well, Hydreigon.
Dude, if I could have justified taking Darmanitan after winning the season, Darmanitan was another Pokemon that I just kind of had a period where I just was like Darmanitan, 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 Darmanitan. And then they made it even more broken this generation, but
Oh
less
yeah,
versatile.
yeah,
I
it's
really like the
crazy.
fact that you could use like 5 different Darmanitan sets, which you just can't do with this one. Like I remember last season running Zen mode Darmanitan with Power Up Punch and Flame Charge, which you can, I mean you can't do that with the Guerrilla Tactics one. I guess
When
you
did you
kind of
do
do that
that?
against Mitch, of course. I think I only clicked Flame Charge though, and then I swept him with Flame Charge.
I don't think you ever entered Zen mode then, because I feel like I would have remembered
No,
that.
no, no. The idea wasn't to go into Zen mode. It was just so that I wouldn't have.
Oh, so you wouldn't get
So
your
I would get the boosts
yeah,
from
your
Flame
boost,
Charge,
right?
and
Okay, I
yeah,
thought the idea maybe was to go into Zen mode. I'm
no,
like,
no,
I think I
no,
would have remembered that.
yeah,
Weird
no.
ass
Sadly, Zen
set.
mode is not good. But yeah, if you got Trick Room, I think it would be good.
Our old Darmanitan or the new one with Trick Room?
The old Darmanitan,
Oh yeah,
because it's got the psychic elements, right? And then the
yeah,
new one has all of like the fire moves for its fire half.
yeah.
So that's a change that I would make. Obviously, I would give it more of the utility moves that a lot of psychic types get, like Trick Room and Screens.
Yeah, that would make sense
Just to keep
too
the
with that
yeah.
typing.
I
Yeah,
mean, especially given that it's based off of Bodhidharma, right? Like,
I have no idea what it was based off of. I just know it's cool.
well, it's based off of a Daruma doll, which is after the guy who invented Chen, or in Japanese Zen, Buddhism. As well as he's credited, not really correctly, with inventing Kung Fu, kind of. But he like brought like Indian martial arts to the Shaolin Temple, so he was the martial artist introduced martial arts to Shaolin Temple. So yeah, that's and for some reason they thought that was the perfect Pokemon to put in the United States.
Right, because that just screams America.
Exactly. No, nothing screams Murka like, the Indian guy who was a Chinese sage and invented Zen Buddhism.
We
Yeah,
did get America Bird though.
we did get Murica Burb, and then we also got Mexico Burb being Mantabuzz.
Oh yeah. Like I was
No,
like, which one are you?
well,
Oh right.
no, it's definitely Braviary, because Braviary is the one on the Mexican flag.
Oh right, of course.
If
Braviary
America
and
really, if America really
Seviper.
liked, yeah. Or wait, isn't there a snake in Gen 5?
I don't know. That was just the first snake that I could think of.
Yeah, yeah. Is there a snake in Gen 5?
I don't
Scarboard account.
I don't believe so. I mean,
Uh, it's
closest
got
one
like,
I could think of is
pipes.
Scolipede, but that's a centipede.
Yeah. Poison type Gen 5. There's actually not many. Right, of course. Sorry. I hate this. The annoying thing about the new generation is now whenever you use the dex search function, it will only tell you about what's in the Generation 8 national dex. But there's not many poison types in Generation 5, so I was really pressed throughout the season to find a poison type, and I didn't wind up finding one.
Oh, there's
So
a snake in Gen 5. It's Superior.
Superior, yeah,
Of
they
course.
have, and the snake on the Mexican flag is green as well.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, man.
Superior
There's
and Braviary, actually
exactly
Mexican.
The Mexico generation.
You heard it here, folks.
Um, you would have thought it would be California, but they didn't have a bear in the game. I don't think. No, they have Bear Tech. Yes,
Yeah,
California, well known for being frozen. Uh,
right. Um, so what's your favorite Pokemon generation and why?
I that's a really like tough question. Generation 3 is in many ways like the definitive Pokemon generation for me. It was the first one I finished. It was the first one I finished all 5 games in. Pretty sure it's the only one I finished 5 games in because I don't think there are others the 5. But obviously in Generation 7, for example,
I
I
know
played
four
Ultra.
had five of them. Five had
Mm, right.
four.
Yeah, I've only played Platinum in Generation 4, and I need to play the Heart Gold Soul Silver because the Heart Gold Soul Silver is the best Pokemon game if you like Gen 4. Like, it's just head and shoulders. Like, there's so many features that it has, which is just
Yeah.
like,
And you have the little buddies walking behind you, which is
yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Like, I've heard people say Platinum is the best Pokemon game, but it doesn't really make sense because Heart Gold Soul Silver is just Platinum, but better. Like, I
The
mean, sure, in
thing,
Platinum, I can walk around with my Pachirisu, and I enjoy walking that, but having the entire game, having whatever Pokemon you want with you, is a pretty massive improvement on that, I think.
the thing that I don't like about Heart Gold Soul Silver is just the levels of the mons that you run into, which I mean it sticks to the source material, but
Mm,
it's just annoying to grind when you're trying to face a level 40's gym leader and you only have level 15 Pidgeotos walking around to fight.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's definitely some problems with level balance in Generation 2.
Like I was recently, well, not really recently, but one of the most kind of the biggest examples of this is I was
Yeah, it
going
was
into
your Soul
prices.
Link, right?
Huh?
Oh, oh, in your Soul Link?
No, not in the Soul Link. Me and Destiny are playing through Pokemon games because I actually introduced the whole franchise to her, and we were playing Heart
Oh.
Gold Soul Silver together, and we were both going into Price's gym with Quillavas. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Seventh gym, and we have the fucking teenage form Pokemon.
yeah, legit. I just Nuzlocke games more and more now. Like my first playthrough of Pokemon Sword, I just Nuzlocked.
That's what I would
Mostly
do if I got
because
the game.
yeah,
If I would
the main
Nuzlocke it.
reason I did that, the main reason I did that was because I wanted to explore all of the Pokemon in the game, and I found that when I play a new generation and I just keep a team, then I'll have like, 2 old Pokemon and like 4 new Pokemon. Whereas then with that, I went through like most of the new Pokemon at different points in time, even like the legendaries, um, which is pretty fun.
I've been doing that more and more too. I've kind of the same. I just stick with 6 and do that, but I've been
Trying to
playing
mix it up.
around and yeah, like right now I'm playing through Pokemon Reborn. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty aware of Pokemon Reborn.
But
Um,
I have a team of 6 right now, and I am like halfway through, at least halfway through the badges. So I'm thinking about getting like 4, like switching out 4 of them or something.
yeah, yeah. Pokemon Reborn though is it's got something which I'm pretty sure I'm not confusing it with rejuvenation in this specific thing. Doesn't it have a point where you just can't level Pokemon up above a certain level until you have a certain badge?
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
hate that.
you have
I
like
don't.
common candies to lower it.
Yeah. No, I don't like that mechanic. The fact that they removed the restriction on having high level Pokemon with the same uh, I forget what it's called, like trainer ID. But it's
Yeah.
not trainer ID. It's the
They
big number. The fact that they removed the limitations on that is a massive improvement to the game, in my opinion. They removed that, I think, in XY, so then
I
I could
think
just like
yeah, it was X and Y.
then I can actually just like level up my starter and not randomly have them stop obeying me, despite the fact that we have like it's not even like tied into friendship or anything. It doesn't matter how good friends you are, you level up and then all of a sudden, no.
You don't have enough little badge things to train me.
Yeah,
That's
you
all that
can't tell me
matters.
what to do, Dad.
This
Um,
isn't a phase, Mom. It's who I am.
yeah.
So, what has
So weird.
been your favorite Pokemon to use so far in Generation 8?
Um, hmm. I obviously I sent you that replay from week one of the World Pokemon Federation
Yeah.
where I had Toxtricity just kind of went in. Um, but I've only really used that a little bit so far because I've only played week one of that league. There's a lot of new Pokemon. The Pokemon I chose mostly just because it's hard to find good physically defensive like water resist um stealth rockers in the generation is the Ralladon, which I've drafted now in 3 leagues. Um, one of them was a speed. But like that one wasn't actually for like, that one was mostly just to test out Pokemon and see
Right.
how we could properly tier a Gen 8 thing. But then just like in Gala Dex leagues, it's like, well, I need something that doesn't die to water moves, and I need something on rocks. And the only thing that fills both of those is just Duraludon. So I've been using that a lot, but I don't think it's particularly great.
It's just something that you need to have around in order to not lose.
Yeah, and I feel like the more I play in the generation, the more Pokemon that I use, the less I'm gonna be using it probably. Whereas Toxtricity, I think, is Pokemon that I'll come back to now and then. So probably Toxtricity.
Its dual
I really
stabs are
like.
pretty nice.
Yeah, and it's like Plasmanta.
Is that a Catmon?
Yeah, yeah. I played a Cap League once.
Gotcha. I was
It,
like, what is that again?
yeah, dude, Cap's a lot of fun. Though then they kind of like took all the Cap Pokemon and then made them real Pokemon this gen, which is just rude.
Right.
Um, they did that last gen as well. I'm still waiting on a site. Oh yeah, no. Then they did half of like the Cyclant broken thing. They gave the Tims to Frosmoth, but
Oh,
they didn't give it Tail Glow.
yeah, that rock climber ability or whatever, right?
No, no, yeah. I mean, the Rock Climber is nice and all, but just leading Cyclant and clicking Tail Glow, ugh, ridiculous. Or I think it got Hone Claws on the physical side. I don't think. No, it does get SD. Yeah. And the 121 base speed. Oh, dude,
That's
imagine if
ginormous.
Frosmoth. Imagine if Frosmoth had good base speed. That'd be so good.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
So the next part of the
Mountain is pretty cool.
question is sort of not applicable to someone who's been doing Gen 8 drafts, so I guess I'll ask you what your favorite part so far about Generation 8 drafts are.
Um, I don't know, man. It's really hard to say because it's only a few weeks into the leagues that I'm in. The most I've played in a Gen 8 league was there was the one speed tour, which again was most like bad. Um,
But like, I don't know, like what are the big old threats in this new draft format, or what's some
yeah,
stuff to really look out for?
I forget if I sent you this list. I think I did talk about you, but there are obviously Pokemon that I haven't used yet, which I'm pretty excited to use. I was at one point I had the option to pick Blair and Domanitan, and I picked Garchomp instead.
Mm.
I don't know. There's I've got Gyarados, which I'm gonna play my week one match for my Gala Dex draft, where I have Gyarados as my tier one. I'm pretty excited for the buffs to that to see how power plays out.
Oh yeah.
I really like the buffs to Hydreigon. Have it in an Ubers based drafts for Generation 8. I dislike the buffs that they gave to Kyurem because Kyurems just keep killing my team.
Yeah,
Why did they give it Freeze Dry?
I heard that thing was sent to NatDex Ubers recently.
Yeah, not just Kyurem Black, right? So
Yeah,
Kyurem
Kyurem
Black
Black.
got Dragon Dance and Ice. No, they gave Kyurem White as well as regular Kyurem as well as Kyurem Black. Freeze Dry.
Holy shit.
I would like to point out that before that happened with Kyurem White it had Ice, Dragon, and Fire coverage basically, and now it just kills everything.
There's
Now it kills
nothing
water
left.
attacks as well.
It's got
To take
coverage for
those 3
everything.
moves.
That's too good.
Yeah, basically you just have to be I don't know, Frostmoth and dodge fire moves that are
Right.
100% accurate.
Yeah,
Like,
dodging is the perfect win con. We can do this.
dodging, you just have to run. Does Frostmoth get the good ability?
I don't know anything about Frostmoth besides the
No,
fact that
it only gets shield dust and ice scales.
uh,
You know what ice scales does though, right?
isn't that like filter?
No, it's way better than that. It's a +2 to special defense. Yeah,
For what?
for Frostmoth, it just has
So,
+2 to special defense.
oh, that's its ability. Okay.
Yeah, so it's got base 90 special defense, but then when you start investing it, like what was it? I think at max. Then so this is like without an assault vest boost. This is just it naturally has 612 special defense.
These Gen 8 mods are something else, man. Like
Not to
Frostmoth
mention,
has this big old special defense. He got Darmanitan with his
well,
big attack stat, which is almost 1,000 of the band on it. And then Dracovish doing Dracovish things.
and then you got like Dragapult and Barraskewda just being ridiculously fast for no reason.
And then we have Fire type Greninja coming out at some point as well.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not going to be Greninja, but it'll be interesting to see how it is.
Yeah.
It seems like it would be too good for draft, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be. It just doesn't have spikes. It just needs spikes. Like just
It's
every
got
Pokemon.
court change. There's something.
Yeah, but
you just have to.
yeah, I don't know.
Have
Court change doesn't
spikes
really.
on your side for it to really do anything.
Quad changes doesn't really exploit turn switches anywhere near as well as like spiking what Greninja did.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I've obviously I haven't used most of the new mons in draft. Pretty interested to see how the different terrain setters go. Obviously, terrain got a massive nerf this gen.
Yeah, it's a life orb rather than
choice
like
bands,
stab
choice
or whatever.
bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, Tapu Koko is honestly it did not deserve as good as it was with its stat spread.
No.
Like 95 special attack, isn't it?
That maybe I think
Yeah, 95.
both of its offensive stats are like
No,
around
its
90
attack is
or 100.
115.
Oh, I was
It's
thinking
got
it was like
a high attack
105.
stat, but wild charge is just crap.
Yeah.
Which is the main problem, I think. I had a lot of physical electric types faced, and then they gave only Morpeko a good electric move. Kind of like how they did that with Zeraora.
Yeah.
Morpeko is going to be a fun Pokemon to use. It's got
It
so
really
many
is. I was underestimating that thing when I first saw it released. I was thinking they gave a deck slot to this little thing, and then Aura Wheel is here, and then you got Rapid Spin support, and it gets Parting Shot.
Dude, yeah, and Nuzzle as well.
Yeah, I know
and
Banded fucks things up pretty well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pretty interested to see if it does anything in VGC. Because it does get Fake Out as well.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know in DDD gets Fake Out, which is hilarious because it is psychic terrain.
Yeah, I know.
I just think that's funny.
All right, well, do you have any other content you want to plug in here at the end?
Yeah, buy my merch. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure that Snowy Kurama will link it. Good lad that he is. But my YouTube channel, Mancini the Amazing, where I am doing 3 leagues, 4 leagues, 3 leagues. And then I'm probably going to do a 4th league that I'll be YouTubing as well. And yeah, check it out. I play drafts. I did kind of go 8 wins in a row in this league. That was pretty fun. One last season as well, but I did have Tapu Lele, but I also barely used it compared to Keldeo, because Keldeo is the best Pokemon.
I really like Keldeo, yeah.
Keldeo is so good in draft, especially in the draft tournament, so that's where you have 8 Pokemon. Keldeo just beats so many teams just from the word go, just because they don't have good counters to it. and it like you 2-hit KO their Landorus with Focus Blast.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it always 2-hit KO'd Landorus with Focus Blast.
I just didn't. I had no idea.
Yeah. So Focus Blast is a strong move. Keldeo is a strong Pokemon. 129 special attack. Plus, then it's just
I guess maybe
ridiculous.
It's because the last time I used a Keldeo was early XY. I think that's why I'm super surprised.
And everyone knows that Keldeo did not. That Landorus didn't exist in XY. I'm just gonna drop a fun calc of Specs Keldeo. There's a 55 min to Landorus with Specs Focus Blast. Just so many Pokemon that just get fucked up by Keldeo. It's ridiculous. The main thing why I like it versus a lot of other ones is it's not a Psychic type. So it's got a lot less weaknesses. Like the immunity, the nothing to worry about dude. But then it's basically got Side Shock with Secret Sword.
Yeah, it does the same thing except for obviously different type.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Don't tend to like fighting types that much.
Interesting stuff. All right, well, we've been here for long enough.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So,
wow, it got to win a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah, I was thinking it was like I kept looking down like, okay, we're at 50 something now. Jesus.
That's crazy. Yeah. Well, it's fun. It's fun talking. We still need to do that like showdown collaboration that we said we do.
We do. We can talk about that a little bit off of this. Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, the Snowy Kurama, everyone.
Oh, thank you. Like this video if you have not already. Subscribe if you want some more PDL content as well as some other Pokemon things in the works. And check out, what is it, Manichi the Amazing?
Mancini the Amazing.
Mancini. I never know how to pronounce that.
Yeah, it's an Italian name.
I figured. So yeah, his link will be in the description as well. And with all that said and more, this has been your boy, Snowy Kurama. See you in the next video. Goodbye.